greatest scenario to me to fight between 155 and 170 and to create a new belt. Why not calling pound for pound? Because he's the number one, I'm the number two right now. For me, myself, I'm the number one. But yeah, when I walk inside the octagon, my opponent should know that they're gonna have a body in front who doesn't know how to give up. That's never gonna happen. So you're gonna have to kill me. And you know what? I love my life, and I'm not ready.
ILIA Topuria just dropped the wildest proposal to finally make the Islam Makhachev superfight happen, and it's absolutely genius. We're talking about one of the most explosive matchups the UFC could possibly book right now, and Topuria isn't just sitting around waiting for the promotion to figure it out. He's taking matters into his own hands with a plan that could change everything. This Georgian-Spanish knockout artist has his sights set on making history, and what he's suggesting would create the kind of legacy-defining moment that transforms careers overnight.
Also, people say the ILIA Topuria and the Islam fight is the biggest fight you can make.
I think right now, yeah, I think Topuria Islam it can be biggest fight, not John Johnson.
Here's where Topuria's vision gets absolutely insane. He's not just talking about moving up to lightweight to challenge Islam. No, this dude wants to skip right past that and meet Makhachev at welterweight, giving himself a legitimate shot at capturing a third world title. Think about that for a second. We're talking about a featherweight champion who's never even defended his belt, and he's already plotting a path to become the first fighter in UFC history to hold titles in 3 different weight classes simultaneously. But wait, it gets even better. Topuria's backup plan involves creating an entirely new championship belt. He wants a catchweight bout between 155 and 170 pounds with a custom pound-for-pound belt on the line. This isn't just about winning fights anymore. This is about reshaping how we think about mixed martial arts hierarchy and creating matchups that transcend traditional weight class boundaries.
Fighting Islam this year, hopefully. That's what the fans want.
Yeah,
will it be?
That's what I want to.
Would you fight him at welterweight, or would you want to fight him at lightweight?
So the perfect scenario for me would be fighting him in the welterweight division, because
so you would go up.
That way I'm gonna be able to collect my third belt. But also will be a greater scenario to me to fight between 155 and 170 and to create a new belt. Why not calling pound for pound? Because he's the number one, I'm the number two right now. For me, myself, I'm the number one. But yeah, you put 2 of the best guys in the world, you put the pound for pound belt in the middle. Whoever wins is the best.
But here's where reality comes crashing down like a freight train. Islam Makhachev just confirmed that their dream fight will absolutely not be happening at the highly anticipated White House card. And get this, the reason isn't what you'd expect. It's not about money, it's not about timing, and it's not about either fighter backing down. Makhachev explains that Topuria already has an opponent lined up, and the UFC brass simply isn't planning to make this super fight happen right now. Can you imagine the frustration? You've got 2 of the most dominant fighters on the planet, both in their primes, both willing to fight, and the promotion is essentially saying, not yet. Meanwhile, fans who have been begging for this matchup are left hanging once again, watching another opportunity slip through the cracks.
Если Илья и Гэджи сразятся в главном событии, ты бы согласился бы со главным поучаствовать?
Ну, так не принципиально для меня драться со главным или в главном. В начале карьеры я дрался в первом поединке турнира. Так что это не такой принципиальный вопрос для меня. Да, думаю, в Белом доме точно не будет, потому что у него уже есть соперники, и UFC в этом бое пока не заинтересован. У меня уже есть так потенциальные соперники, 3-4 человека в моем дивизионе в 77 килограмм, которые уже, можно сказать, заслужили драться за пояс. Так что я думаю, ближайший 2026 год маловероятно.
The disappointment doesn't stop there, because Topuria was genuinely excited about the White House card and made it crystal clear to UFC management that he expects to be booked soon. This event represents something unprecedented in combat sports history. We're talking about the first MMA event ever held at the White House, and Topuria sees it as the perfect stage to cement his place among the all-time greats. He understands that opportunities like this don't come around twice in a career. Fighting at the White House isn't just about winning a fight, it's about creating a moment that transcends sports and enters the realm of cultural significance. But with the Islam fight officially off the table, fans are once again forced to watch from the sidelines as two generational talents remain on separate collision courses instead of meeting in the center of the octagon.
Somebody wants, let's do it. I tell them I will be ready soon. If White House, of course, I want to be in White House because there may be one and only we will make the fighting in White House. I want to be in history. Now I am already make good money, which one enough for my family, you know. And now I have everything before. It's also not coming in my dream, you know. Now I just ready, you know. I training every day, still hungry, still fighting, still want to be.
Now here's something that might surprise you about Topuria's approach to his career. While other fighters are scrambling to stay active and compete 3 or 4 times per year, Topuria deliberately chooses a completely different path, and his reasoning is actually brilliant. He explains that every fighter operates differently, and while he respects guys who stay extremely active, he prioritizes full structured training camps over frequency. This dude refuses to enter the octagon at anything less than peak condition, and honestly, that mentality explains everything about his perfect finishing record. When you look at fighters who compete constantly, they're often dealing with nagging injuries, incomplete training camps, or mental fatigue from the constant grind. Topuria makes it clear that when he fights, he does so fully prepared and injury-free, performing at maximum capacity rather than rushing back for activity's sake. It's a calculated gamble that's paid off spectacularly so far.
Do you think someone like Merab that fights 4 times a year, 3 times a year, do you think that kind of is, it could fuck with you a little bit when you're fighting, such a competitive fight like someone like Jan? I feel like if you fight 3-4 times a year, it can be kind of hard.
Yeah, I don't know. Everyone has his own style. If that's something that makes him happy, he has to do that.
Yeah, I get that.
For me, for example, I don't like to fight 3 or 4 times in a year because I really enjoy to have a proper training camps. I never go inside the octagon with an injury or something like that. You were asking me before in the lounge, like yeah. I always go at my 100%. When I go inside the octagon, I really want to fight.
And you don't spar, you told me, right? You don't really spar.
I do sparrings, but very specific spar.
But wait until you hear who Topuria has on his hit list. He just named the 3 fighters that excite him the most, and this lineup reads like a murderer's row of elite competition. Islam Makhachev, Conor McGregor, and Paddy Pimblett. But here's the kicker. Topuria specifically says he would love the chance to be the first person to knock out Paddy, adding with absolute confidence that if nobody else has done it yet, he can be the one to make it happen. Now that's the kind of bold prediction that either ages like fine wine or comes back to haunt you forever. What's fascinating is how Topuria views these potential matchups. He's not just looking for wins, he's hunting for specific types of victories that would add unique accomplishments to his resume. Knocking out the ultra-durable Pimblett would prove his power translates across weight classes and fighting styles.
Islam in Armand, right?
Actually, I don't want to fight with Justin because it's like.
Okay, so who's your 3? Sorry.
Okay, will be Islam.
Okay.
Conor, and who else that I really want to fight that I always say like this fight excites me. Who else?
John Jones.
Paddy, bro.
Paddy? Bro.
I would love it. Like.
Someone had asked.
Would feel his chin.
Nope. Well, hold on. He's never been knocked out, right?
Yeah, that's why I love to do that. To be the first one.
And speaking of callouts, Topuria absolutely unloaded on Arman Tsarukyan with some of the most brutal fight analysis you'll ever hear. He points directly to Arman's losses against Islam and Gamer Rot as definitive proof that the Armenian lacks elite finishing ability when it matters most. But here's where Topuria's breakdown gets really savage. He argues that Tsarukyan only secures stoppages when opponents fade from exhaustion or accumulated damage, not when they're fresh and fully prepared for war. In Topuria's view, if Tsarukyan faces someone with strong conditioning and the right preparation, he struggles to impose his will and ultimately breaks under the pressure of a sustained assault. This isn't just trash talk. This is technical analysis wrapped in psychological warfare. and it reveals exactly how Topuria studies potential opponents and identifies their breaking points.
Fighting in one of the biggest promotion in the world, but he lost to Islam, he lost to Gamrod, he get knocked out in the beginning of his career, and he doesn't really have the ability to finish the fights. He only finishes the fights when his opponent gets tired, and he just goes in the ground and he does the ground and pound and all of that. But if he faces someone who really has that preparation, has that cardio, knows he doesn't get like scared if he gets
The confidence doesn't stop there, because Topuria completely shuts down any talk of his fights going to a decision. He expresses total confidence that he stops both Islam and Arman inside the distance, and his reasoning for each matchup is fascinating. He views Arman as the more straightforward challenge, claiming his relentless intensity and pace would overwhelm the Armenian and force critical mistakes that lead to a finish. But here's what's really interesting about Topuria's mindset. His belief doesn't come from arrogance or delusion. It comes from the brutal work he endures in training camp, pushing through levels of exhaustion, discomfort, and physical limits that most fighters never reach. He knows exactly how he responds when his back is against the wall, when his body is screaming to quit, when every instinct tells him to find an easy way out. And quitting simply isn't part of his psychological makeup.
You think Islam or Arman, you're not going to decision. It's you're 100% going to finish them. Both of them.
both of them.
Wow.
Both of them. Like Arman, easy because he will panic. He will panic. With me, he will panic. What he's gonna do? I always used to say, like, when I'm in the training camp, I know how it feels when you feel pain. I know how it feels when you feel tired. I know how it feels when you feel like you can do more and you keep doing it. It's like I know about myself that there's not a situation that I'm gonna give up. So when I walk inside the octagon, my opponent should know that they're gonna have a baddest motherfucker in front who doesn't know how to give up. That's never gonna happen. So you're gonna have to kill me. And you know what? I love my life, and I'm not ready.
But hold up, because Khabib Nurmagomedov just entered the conversation with a prediction that's going to shock you. The Dagestani legend goes even further than anyone expected and predicts that Arman Tsarukyan would hold an 80-20 edge over ILIA Topuria if they fought tomorrow. Let that sink in for a moment. We're talking about Khabib, arguably the greatest lightweight of all time, essentially dismissing Topuria's chances against his training partner. Khabib highlights Arman's well-rounded skill set, tactical discipline, and ability to follow a smart game plan as major advantages that would neutralize Topuria's explosive striking. On top of that, he believes Tsarukyan's physical strength and natural size would play a huge role in controlling where the fight takes place, giving him clear dominance in the grappling exchanges and making him the more complete fighter in that specific matchup.
Он при этом за счет борьбы, правильно?
За счет ММА стиля.
Но,
Это не вольная борьба.
но будет проходить, да?
Арман может повалить, у него хорошие локти в партере. Очень хороший локти. Может бороться, разбаривать, спину забирать.
А вот в эту опасную дистанцию с Топурией просто не зайдет.
Не зайдет, слишком уже есть бои, он уже может посмотреть, изучить. Я, например, 80-20 я вижу победителем Армана. Я считаю, что его борьба, его прессинг, его говорить, это тоже надо учитывать. Он выше него почти на 10 сантиметров, если не ошибаюсь. И он больше него весом, и в день боя он будет больше него.
Now get this revelation about why Topuria might not have received that coveted White House card invitation. In a candid conversation with Adin Ross, Topuria suggests he hasn't received a call for the proposed White House event because he isn't American. And honestly, his theory makes perfect sense from a promotional standpoint. He suggests the UFC may prefer a homegrown star for an event of that historic magnitude, pointing to someone like John Jones as the exact type of name they would likely prioritize for such a prestigious stage. Think about the optics here. The first MMA event at the White House featuring a Spanish-Georgian champion versus an American hero like Jones defending his heavyweight title. From a marketing perspective, having an American champion representing the sport at the White House creates a cleaner narrative for mainstream media consumption.
It's so hard to deal with so much things when you are in that they don't understand it.
True. Makes sense.
Yeah.
Makes sense a lot. So, I mean, if I had to guess, it's got to be John Jones or Connor, right? I mean, like Connor, Nate, or...
To be honest, I think it has to be someone American.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, it's the White House event. They need someone American to represent America.
Got it.
In the White House.
Oh,
it has to be like that.
Oh, that's what it is. So that's probably why you didn't get the call.
I don't know. Maybe they don't give a damn about that. Maybe they care.
Meanwhile, Kamaru Usman just revealed some fascinating behind-the-scenes information about the Islam Makhachev situation that changes everything. The former welterweight king confirms there are seriously different opinions among UFC decision-makers about who Islam should face next, and the politics are getting messy. Usman makes it crystal clear that the Islam fight is the matchup he wants most, and his reasoning goes beyond personal ambition. He believes this would be a major opportunity not just for himself and Islam to prove their legacies, but also a massive win for the company from a pay-per-view and mainstream attention standpoint. When you think about it, Usman versus Islam represents the ultimate test of old-school American wrestling and boxing versus the new wave of Dagestani grappling and striking evolution.
Honestly, I really don't know. The Islam fight was obviously what I wanted, and what I felt would have been great, not just for me, not just for Islam, but would have been great for the company, would have been great for the world to see that. Because listen, people count me out day in and day out. And for some reason, we've had conversations, but Hunter Campbell feels differently, and Hunter Campbell's like, maybe not. He wants to go a different way. We don't know yet. You know, it's still not. They haven't come out and said, okay, Islam is going to get this guy or Islam is going with me. But it's been a tumultuous back and forth with getting.
The plot thickens even more because Usman also reveals he was offered a fight with Dricus du Plessis, and his response shows exactly how a veteran approaches career management. He explains that whenever someone suggests an opponent, he's willing to take it as long as the matchup is meaningful and strategic. If the fight can bring him closer to another title shot, that's automatically the one he wants, regardless of difficulty or stylistic challenges. This mentality explains why Usman has remained relevant at the highest levels even after losing his championship. He's not just looking for easy wins or favorable matchups. He's hunting for fights that restore his position in the title picture and prove he's still an elite force in his late 30s.
The other things were presented to me, like potentially DDP was presented to me, or, you know, other guys. And listen, Henry, there's one thing about me, and you know, right? When they call and they say this guy or that guy or this guy, I don't go, maybe. No, I say yes.
So let me stop you right there, Kamaru. So you're talking about a possible potential move to 185 pounds because DDP ain't no welterweight. Is that what I'm hearing?
But potentially. But this is the thing with me is it has to be meaningful. At this point, it has to be meaningful. I'm not just here to fight the fight. It has to be meaningful. If it gets me to the title that I want, that's what I want.
I like that, Kamaru. Yeah, because you're all or nothing. We've talked about it before. But
Here's where the timeline gets really interesting, because Islam Makhachev was previously confident that Kamaru Usman was the next opponent he wanted, viewing the former champion as the absolute toughest challenge available in the welterweight division at that time. Islam openly acknowledged the doubts surrounding that potential matchup, particularly questions about whether Usman's best days were behind him. But he believed the veteran would systematically outclass all the rising contenders who hadn't been fully tested against elite competition yet. For Islam, there was legitimately no bigger challenge available in the division, and beating Usman would have represented the ultimate validation of his pound-for-pound status across multiple weight classes.
Кто в идеале твой следующий соперник?
Ну, я на интервью говорил, что с Усманом хочу подраться. Ну, что-то медиа не верит в этот бой, я смотрю. Но мое личное мнение, Усман переедет этих всех пацанов, которые сейчас новые появились там. Тот же Моралес, тот же вот этот Пратес ударник. Это пацаны не проверенные еще. И я думаю, что Усман самый тяжелый бой был бы для меня. И в медийном плане мы смогли бы, как бывший чемпион, Он больше всего защит в моем весе. И мы смогли бы как-то хорошо продвинуть этот бой и показать тоже красивый бой.
But wait, because Bilal Mohammed just dropped a bombshell accusation that exposes the political maneuvering behind the scenes. Islam's friend and current welterweight champion believes that Islam and his team were deliberately angling for an easier path by specifically targeting the aging Usman instead of facing hungrier, more dangerous contenders. Bilal argues that other fighters like Michael Morales had legitimately earned a title shot through their recent performances, but Islam's camp pushed hard for the Usman matchup because it worked heavily in their favor from a stylistic and timing perspective. Here's the really controversial part. Bilal suggests they used their shared management connections to influence UFC decision-making and get the fight they wanted rather than the fight that made the most sense for competitive integrity.
I think it's going to happen in the division. Let's talk about it. When I look at, especially the welterweight division, Islam being the champion, who do I think deserves it? Who do I think has earned it? I think Michael Morales for sure has earned it. Beating a guy like Sean Brady, being undefeated, finishing Sean Brady. I mean, what else more do you have to do? But we see the seeds planted. We see Islam planting the seeds of Usman should be the next guy. I mean, obviously they have the same manager. Obviously the manager planting seeds in his head of what he thinks should be. Do I think Usman is an easier matchup for him? Of course. The guy's fought one time in 3 years, and he's 1 in 3. I'm still ahead of you. Even though I lost my last 2 fights, I'm still 2 and 2. So you could talk, you could say whatever you want. You turned down a fight. You didn't want to fight. And I don't think it should earn you a title fight when you're saying no to fights. But that's my thing. You can call me a hater. I'm just looking at the division from a different lens, what I think, and who I think has earned it. That's my thoughts on that one. We'll see what happens next with them two, who will get it. If it is Morales, I do think me and Usman make the most sense. Like I said, I've been wanting that fight, asking for the fight. We'll see if we...
Now Islam's perspective on Topuria becomes absolutely fascinating when you hear his technical breakdown. Makhachev completely downplays ILIA Topuria's threat at welterweight, insisting that Michael Morales represents a much bigger danger in striking exchanges due to his raw knockout power and natural size advantages. Islam points to finishing ability as the main difference, seeing Morales as a legitimate one-shot finisher at 170 pounds who could end fights with single strikes. At the same time, he raises legitimate questions about how Topuria's success against smaller featherweights would translate against naturally bigger and stronger welterweight opponents, who can absorb more punishment and impose their physical will. For Islam, welterweight represents a completely different level of competition, and he genuinely doesn't view Topuria as the same kind of finishing threat if he moves up 2 weight classes.
Ну, я думаю, намного опаснее в том, если, например, брать именно панчера, тот же Моралес. Каждое попадание он людей спать отправляет. Если стоять перед ними и пропускать удары, каждый будет опасен. Но я не думаю, что в 77, что Топурия будет такой же опасный, как в 70, потому что там уже размеры другие, что и вес другой, и рост другой, что намного проще бойцам 77 будет драться с Топурией. И я не вижу никаких угроз для себя, если Топурия поднимется в 77. Я уже много раз повторялся, то я только за такого боя, про что мы и говорили. Будет большое шоу, фанатам интересно, и это будет в плане медиа очень.
Michael Morales is absolutely loving this attention and refuses to treat Islam Makhachev like some untouchable legend, making it crystal clear that he won't put the lightweight champion on any kind of pedestal when they eventually meet. In Morales' eyes, Islam is just another man who bleeds and feels pain across the cage, not some mythical figure to fear or idolize before the first punch is thrown. This mindset is crucial for any fighter facing someone with Islam's reputation and winning streak. Morales believes all the hype, all the mystique, all the psychological advantages completely disappear once that cage door closes and violence becomes the only language that matters. He's ready to approach the lightweight champion like any other obstacle standing between him and UFC gold.
No la pelean, o sea, no una amenaza, pero tampoco le tengo mucho respeto, que digamos, ¿me entiendes? Él es un deportista igual que yo, él es una persona igual que yo, sangre igual que yo, así que simplemente lo único que yo quiero es quitarle el título. Que él puede tener su legado, su historia, pero eso es de él, no es mío, ¿me entiendes? Lo mío es lo mío, yo he trabajado muy fuerte por lo que yo quiero y pues no le voy a dar ese respeto de que eres el campeón, con todos los honores del mundo, no, yo quiero ser campeón, ¿me entiendes? Entonces, en mi cabeza está de que pues voy a trabajar muy fuerte para quitar el título a alguien, no me voy a poner a decir
o a idolatrar a alguien que pues, todo el mundo.
Finally, Topuria isn't done making waves because he just issued a direct challenge to Conor McGregor that could break the internet. The Georgian knockout artist is actively campaigning for a fight with the Irish superstar and throws down a public challenge for McGregor to meet him in Spain, essentially daring the former double champion to step back into serious competition. This callout represents everything Topuria understands about building his brand and creating legacy-defining moments. A victory over McGregor, even a diminished version, would instantly catapult Topuria into global superstardom and prove his drawing power extends far beyond hardcore MMA fans. He's literally inviting McGregor to show up and make a move, knowing that kind of direct challenge is exactly what gets under Conor's skin and forces his hand.
Up to you.
Yeah.
Who do you think makes sense for you to fight?
You know who I would love to face?
Who?
Conor.
Really?
Yeah.
How do you think you would beat ILIA
I watched this video.
You seen this?
Oh, yeah,
Topuria? Grab him with a script of the chest and slap that little nose off him, yeah? Little ding dong with he is, yeah? I'm focused fast. I'm in my bed now, yeah? I'm in my bed at the bare knuckle stalling, let's see what's what. We're bouncing the yoke at the bare knuckle. You little fool, I'll carry your head in. You little short ass dick, I'll box your jaw in. Oh, son, I'm in my bed Spain, yeah? I'm in my bed Spain, I'm trying to at the bare knuckle. Stall it, bro.
Dude,
I'm in Madrid March 7th at WoW FC. Come, you're more than welcome.
Holy shit.
And
Wait.
try to do something.
Oh my God.
Do some. Come in there. I'm not accepting your invitation. I'm inviting you. Come, March 7th at WoW in Madrid Arena. If you want me to send you a specific location, I'm gonna do it.
So there you have it. Topuria's plotting a path to 3-division glory while Islam's playing political games behind the scenes. Khabib's dismissing the Georgian's chances, and everyone from Usman to Morales wants a piece of the action. This isn't just about individual fights anymore. This is about reshaping the entire landscape of elite mixed martial arts and determining who controls the narrative going forward. The super fight we all want keeps getting delayed, but the tension and anticipation are building to an absolute breaking point. Here's my question for you. Drop it in the comments. Do you think Topuria's 3-division plan is genius or completely insane? And who do you actually want to see Islam fight next? If this breakdown helped you understand all the crazy politics happening behind the scenes, smash that like button, subscribe to the channel, and hit the notification bell because this situation is about to explode and you don't want to miss what happens next. I'll see you in the next one.